Aaron Collins, Missouri Farm Bureau. Jim Rasick, Auto Group. Sugarfoot Barbecue. Remax, Truman Lake. Golden Valley Memorial Healthcare. Integrity Floors. The Landmark Restaurant. Clark Tire. C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing. Real-Time Photography. Primitive Old Crow and Winery. Bernard Tax and Bookkeeping. Laura Anstein, Anstein Realty and Auction. Creative Paint and Supply. Aaron Collins, Missouri Farm Bureau. Jim Rasick, Auto Group. Sugarfoot Barbecue. Remax, Truman Lake. Golden Valley Memorial Healthcare. Integrity Floors. The Landmark Restaurant. Clark Tire. C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing. Real-Time Photography. Primitive Old Crow and Winery. Bernard Tax and Bookkeeping. Laura Anstein, Anstein Realty and Auction. Creative Paint and Supply.
For the Archie Whirlwinds, number 2,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, they're announcing the starting lineup for Archie.
Number 11, Chesney Baker. Number 20, Emma Thompson. Number 28, Aubrey Smith. And number 1, Hayden Anderson.
All right, of course, I'm James Hinkle with Sounds Like Videos, along with my wife, Stacy.
Number 3, Colby Jackson. Number 4, Hayden Gillen. Number 10, Alana Alexander. Number 11, Mercedes Brown. Number 13, Maddie Aller. Number 14, Katie Mitchell. And your girl, Brianna Smith.
All right, and that is your starting lineup for tonight's varsity game. Of course, we also live streamed C-Team and the junior varsity games as well tonight. We're able to get over here in time to do that. Very happy to bring that for you guys. So the ladies will take the court.
Thanks for joining us tonight for Clinton High School volleyball action. And as James said, the C team and the JV team played earlier tonight, and we are just now getting ready to kick off varsity volleyball here on Thursday night. The Clinton, boy, that's twice tonight I've done that. I just have to really put myself in the right frame of mind. The Clinton Lady Cardinals are hosting the Archie Whirlwinds tonight.
Mm-hmm. You know, when I saw this on the schedule, I was like, Archie? Really? Aren't they kind of a tiny school? Aren't they like a Lakeland, Osceola size? But, you know, after watching the other two games here, I would say they play at a definitely higher level. Of course, they are, I believe, 3-1 or 4-1 on the season as far as play is concerned. Of course, they will They will put the first ball into play. Oh!
And an early start there. Archie starting off with an ace. That was number 5, Emily Hopkins, on the serve for Archie. So I think this Clinton team here just trying to get a good look at Archie and figure it out. Set up to Mercedes Brown on the attack.
But Archie,
they are really coming after Brianne Smith over here in the near corner. That's 3 in a row they have just nailed toward her, and that will be
a double hit on Brown.
Hit for Clinton. 3-0. Archie off to an early lead here. First set of the night, and that serve will go in the net.
Giving Clinton an opportunity to show what they got here.
And Elena Alexander back to serve for Clinton. Strong serve by her to the back middle. Katie Mitchell on the dive to try and save for Clinton is unsuccessful on that one. And boy, that was a strong kill from Archie on the near sideline there.
There, I think I got the scoreboard all fixed.
Mitchell to Alexander, who sets up.
Double hit.
Good call there. Sets up Maddie Allard on the far side. And that will draw the double hit and put Maddie Allard back to serve for Clinton.
Nice block by Brown. Giving Clinton 3-4. Allard to serve again.
That serve a little short, and Archie struggles to bring it into control. Can't quite get it done.
Tie ball game.
I think that's one of the things about Allard that is so interesting. She has this unusual positioning for her serve. She lines up far to the left, and she hits all the way across the field of play.
Oh.
So a good attack by Colby Jackson there, but they are able to get the block on that, and with her so far back, she could not make it up. That will fall on the Clinton side of the net.
Out.
5-5 now, Clinton tied, and we will see Morgan Hendrix come into the game for Clinton. I really like the strategy that the varsity girls use here, where they've got Mercedes Brown, who just served that ace. When she's on the front row, she's their primary attacker. And when she goes to the back row, they bring in Morgan Hendrix on the front row, and she becomes their attacker. And both of those girls can really put the ball away.
Mm-hmm. Let me just point out that Mercedes is only a sophomore.
That's right.
And it looks like also a starter.
She is, yes.
Of course, I went to school with her uncle, Brian Brown, who was an amazing athlete. So, in fact, several members of their family, very, very athletic inclined, kind of runs through the family. So I'm not surprised to see that Mercedes is kind of kicking some tail out there.
Not sure if you got a chance to see that or not, but Morgan Hendrix on the fake set up Colby Jackson to go in for the kill. It looks really, really good when they execute it. It was a little long and went out of bounds, so Archie took the point, but really a good play. Elena Alexander over. And Morgan Hendrix on the block.
This ball's still in play. And the set.
Short dink from Hendrix is successful. And sometimes it pays off to pull back and not power over your opponent.
You know, this is my first opportunity to actually see the girls play in person. I've done a lot of the other, schools that we're covering, and to see these girls play in person, wow, let's say they're quite impressive.
Paige Gillen on the serve now for Clinton. Jackson to Gillen. Morgan Hendrix on the kill, and that will score the point for Clinton. 9-7 now. Your Lady Cardinals leading over the Archie Whirlwinds. Little too far forward in her jump there, so Archie not able to return that one. And we will see Archie take the first time out of the ball game here as Clinton leads 10-7 in the first varsity matchup of the night. And we want to say thank you very much to our timeout sponsor, Golden Valley Memorial Healthcare. They were gracious enough to come on board and help us bring the live stream to you this year for our fall sports season. And we appreciate them very much.
Yeah, if it wasn't for them, and this is something that we're trying new this year. Traditionally, what you've seen is mostly football, but there's volleyball out there, and there's people who enjoy watching. And I am a huge supporter of women's sports, so we decided we're going to give it a go.
You better be.
Yeah, we're going to give it a go, and not only did we give it a go, we're going to cover other schools as well. But back to Clinton volleyball.
Paige Gillen to serve. Free ball from Archie now. Smith again to Gillen, who sets up Colby Jackson. Good one down the line.
And out.
So Clinton will take the point. A good volley there between the two teams.
Brown looking at that ball like she wanted to dive for it, but made the right choice and let it go out of bounds. Gillen, am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, that's right, Paige Gillen. And that's Alana Alexander to Gillen, who sends it back to Alexander, who sets it over the net. Morgan Hendrix on the block for Clinton.
Nice block. I'm going to hit the instant replay on that.
Morgan Hendrix on the block for Clinton.
Nice. She just gets up there and puts it right back in her face.
A lot of height, and she manages to get a lot of air underneath her feet. 12-7 now is your score. Clinton leading over Archie. A short jumper for Paige there. Brian to Gillen to Hendrix. And, boy, two blockers, and they still couldn't hold that one back. There was some power on that hit.
Take another look at that.
Boy, two blockers, and they still couldn't hold that one.
Sorry about that on the replay. It'll be a little quicker. Oh.
(14-7) now your score. Your Clinton Lady Cardinals leading over the Archie Whirlwinds. First set of the night tonight, varsity matchups. Of course, Archie successful in the C-team game tonight. Another block for Hendrix there. 2-0 in the C-team games tonight for Archie. Clinton coming back and taking the JV games 2-1. So a win for the match there. And, of course, just kicking off varsity action tonight as we see the girls on the floor for the first matchup. Clinton currently leading. The line judge will call that one in, and that will be point Archie.
Clinton had a nice run there. I mean, they're scoring 15. Of course, Archie 8. And here comes Archie's serve.
Brown to Gillen, sets up Hendrix, and with the nice deep placement there, Archie's will go wide and out of bounds, so chalk another one up for Clinton on the scoreboard. And now Colby Jackson back to serve.
A little long on that one. It's all right, Jackson, you'll get the next one.
And we see now Jackson out and Brian Smith into the back row. This time Gillen sets
Nice
up
recovery.
Allard, and Smith is right there to pick up the block. Good job by Clinton to keep that one in play and score the point. Allard and Smith is right there to pick up the block.
By Clinton, but
Good job by Clinton.
Still a nice play.
So Morgan Hendrix now back to serve for Clinton.
She's definitely using the height to her advantage on her serves. Here's the set. Into the back and a little deep.
And now we will see Katie Mitchell back in the game. She takes the spot on the back row for Clinton. We also see number 11, Chesney Baker, coming in for Archie. Up by Smith.
Oh.
Gillen goes for the quick over and two and is blocked.
That was a nice block by Archie, and they just put it right behind her where there was nobody to defend.
Short serve from Archie, and the setup there to Allard, who says, I'm not going to let you get one by me again. And that bounces off the blocker and completely out of bounds to the opposite side of the court. Elena Alexander now back to serve for Clinton.
Nice serve.
Allard on the set, and again, the blocker can't quite hold it, so that point goes to Clinton.
Yeah, let's take another look at that on instant
Allard
replay. Nice
on the
recovery.
set, and
Allard,
again,
wow.
the blocker can't quite. And Archie will take another timeout here to talk it over as they are trailing 11-19 behind your Clinton Cardinals. And we want to say thank you very much to Jim Rasick Auto Group on the Loop in Clinton, Missouri, for coming on as one of our timeout sponsors here for fall sports. We appreciate him very much. And if you're out and about town, stop in and say thanks to Jim and the gang over there, and tell them that you appreciate it, and look forward to being able to watch the live stream for Clinton sports this year.
Of course, Jim Racing is also our scoreboard sponsor this year as well. So if you're looking for a car, go see Jim. If you're looking for a truck, go see Jim. If you're looking for a buy, Jim
Elena
Rasick is the guy.
Alexander back to serve for Clinton
Okay.
now. Stop singing, James. I'll take away your microphone. And Archie never got control of that serve. The ball was out of play from the very beginning.
Is there something wrong with my singing? It's such a catchy tune. It really is.
A long
it's
serve
really
now. Out of bounds by Elena Alexander. And Archie will take over. Emma Thompson back to serve for Archie. Another long serve. So traded points there, and that will bring Maddie Allard up to serve for Clinton. A nice middle deep serve for Allard. A good up by Allard. Alexander will set up Gillen. And Archie is in the net, so we will give the ball back to Clinton and let Maddie Allard line up for serve number 2. Allard on the up to Gillen, who
Oh, wow.
not real sure who to go for it there. Alexander and Brown both at the last minute managed to save that one. So talk about teamwork there as the two of them work together to make sure hit number three goes over the net.
A little confusion there, but Clinton really showing their athleticism. This comes up a little short.
And with that, Allard will rotate out, and we will see Brianne Smith back in the game for Clinton now.
You know, she was trying to mix up her serves there so that she doesn't become predictable. It just didn't quite work.
Good attack by Brown. And the dive by Katie Mitchell, and she is not quite able to get there.
No, she comes up
That
a little
one
short.
was coming in fast.
Oh.
Serve in the net by Archie. We'll give the ball back to Clinton, and that will bring up game point here in the first matchup of the night for the varsity girls. We see Morgan Hendrix rotating back into the game now as she takes her position on the front row. And Mercedes Brown back to serve. And we will see if Clinton can put this win in the books. And a strong attack by number 11, Chesney Baker, was short for Archie. So Clinton will take the win, 25-14. And a strong attack by number 11, Chesney. Varsity matchup here tonight.
Of course, letting everybody take a look at the replay there. Right there at the end of the game. Or the win in the first game. Did we figure this out? Is it game, match, set?
Game, set, match.
Game,
so
set, match.
We play a game of volleyball. Set 1, 2, and 3, 4, or 5 if you need them. To take the match. Right now, Clinton leads 1-0 in sets.
And we will play best of 5 tonight.
We will play best of 5 for varsity here. The JV played best of 3 tonight, and of course went to 3 games. Archie taking the first game, Clinton then coming back to take games 2 and 3. And or sets 2 and 3, if you prefer to say it that way. So yes, so far a good night for the Clinton Cardinals. And I'm just curious, James, as we have a break between games here. As we were watching the JV game, and this is the first time you've seen the Lady Cardinals play volleyball this year, you said that the JV girls looked like the varsity players that you had already seen earlier this season at other schools. So, game 1 is out of the way. What do you think of our varsity girls now?
Well, I'll tell you what, we knew that Clinton was going to have a strong varsity team, and quite frankly, I think Clinton would match up against some of the best teams that we've seen so far. And that, I tell you one I would like to see, and no, I'm not evading your question. What do I think? I will answer that. I think Clinton's got a very good team here, but the girls coming up on Archie's side as well as Clinton are just, they're going to fill these positions next year easily, and Clinton will continue to be strong as well.
So I'm curious, you said a matchup you would like to see.
Yeah, of course. That would be Clinton against El Dorado Springs.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, and I know I'm maybe pulling from a different class here, but I watched Skyline play, I think earlier this week. I would love to see a Clinton Skyline matchup.
Yeah, that's probably never going to happen.
I think that the two teams are very well matched, and I think it would be an awesome game to watch.
Yeah, well, Skyline's really, really good, but El Dorado Springs, oh, wow. That went out of bounds. Did they say she tipped it?
Yes, off the fingertips. Off the fingertips of Clinton.
Okay.
Maybe not.
No. They're saying no. Okay.
The ball was out. The line judge called it out. One of the officials was indicating off the fingertips, but apparently the other official said no, and so 2-1. They go with the majority there.
Okay.
You know, I've got to give a lot of kudos to the officiating teams, too. I have seen a couple of instances, very rare, where official 1 and official 2.
Oh, they're saying that she was in the net there. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, but they have a different call. And They have been very efficient, very professional in the way that they have handled that. They're following the rules that are in place for them, and they're doing the right thing. And I just think they are doing an amazing job calling these games.
Okay, Allard's last 2 serves have been, shall we say, uncharacteristic of her. Normally she has such a strong serve. Maybe she's just trying to mix it up and coming up a little short.
And Colby Jackson there on the attack does hit it a little long, out of bounds. So 3-3 now. Up by Mitchell is a little deep, and that will be a double hit on Archie, as she at first thinks about blocking it, but then tries to make the play. And as Mitchell comes out of the game, Hendrix will rotate into the front row.
Brown back to serve.
Good serve from her. Gillen sets up Alexander to Hendrix.
Nice recovery by Archie.
Bump by Smith. Sets up Colby Jackson, and she sneaks one in between the blockers and the net.
Yeah,
A good call by Jackson there.
Oh, I tried to hit the instant replay, but didn't quite hit.
We'll have a short delay here as Colby Jackson has to fix her hair.
Oh, in the net.
Brown served low. I'm starting to see some cross-country jerseys sneaking into the gym here, so they must be finishing up with that tonight. And Colby Jackson again, sneaking between the blockers. I think they called that a lift on Archie, would be my guess. That it she got tangled up with the ball and couldn't let go of it. So Gilland now back to serve. And the setup to Jackson is long. 6-5 now. Clinton's still leading over the Archie Whirlwinds. Brown to Gillen, sets up Alexander this time on the attack. And the deep spike, flat-footed by Emma Thompson, will go out of bounds. And Clinton will bring up Colby Jackson to serve. Free ball from Clinton. And that will go long and out of bounds. Archie says we want the touch. We think it was off the fingertips, but the officials say no.
Ooh, that'll go right in the net.
And now we will see Brian Smith back in the game for Clinton. Smith up to Gillen, who sets up Allard for the attack. And a little out of control, but Archie manages it. Smith to Gillen, and this time to Hendrix on the attack. And
wow,
she almost knocked over the Archie defender with that Smith
power.
To Gillen, and this time to Hendrix on the attack.
Take a look at that on the replay.
Wow, she almost knocked over.
Poor girl.
Morgan Hendrix now back to serve for Clinton. And that will go wild and score the point for Clinton. And now Archie will take the timeout. 10-6 your score here with the Clinton Lady Cardinals leading over the Archie Whirlwinds. Set 2 of the night in varsity action. Clinton leading the match 1-0 right now. And we want to say thank you very much to Golden Valley Memorial Healthcare for
Golden Valley
sponsoring
Memorial Healthcare.
our timeouts here in high school sports.
We're not supposed to stop talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the girls strategize. You know, they go out on the court and it's intense, but they're laughing and they're joking, and they come into the huddle, and then it gets really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 30 seconds go by, and now they're laughing and joking and everything else again. So,
well, you know what? I'll just point this out. You know, Clinton has a new head coach this year, Coach Turner. She's new to Clinton. She's new to teaching, and she's got a good group of girls here, and definitely has coached them well. They're definitely out there having fun.
So you mentioned Coach Turner, also the JV coach Tiffany Smith and freshman coach Kevin Carr. I did not mention them earlier, and so we need to do that.
Mm-hmm. And here's your serve.
And Morgan Hendrix, you know, she has this jump serve that I am just amazed by. I mean, I think she probably makes a first down on every serve. You know, she will move 5-6 yards at least. And her jump, her toss is so high. But it's just, she has it down to a science. It is just perfection for her.
Nice play by
Toss
Clinton.
is so
of course,
high.
Archie dives
but
in
it's
here. We'll
just
look at
she
that
has
on
it
the
down to a
replay.
science.
Nice
It
dive,
is-
but it does
it
go in
is
the
just-
net. And we go back to Morgan for another serve. She does have, I mean, that is just a college level serve right there. Oh, a little miscommunication there. Ball drops.
And that's tough. You serve deep like that, you've got a lot of ground to cover before that ball drops. So that's just a hard play to make.
Yeah, I think she thought her player on the front line there was going to pick that up, but didn't happen. One of those rare occasions for Clinton where there's a little miscommunication.
And Katie Mitchell back in the game for Clinton now. Smith will field that. Gillen to Allard, free ball. And the short up by Archie. They are not able to recover.
Yeah.
So 14-7 now, Clinton leading in the second matchup of varsity action here tonight.
Archie a little bit on their back heels in this game.
Serve by Elena Alexander is solid and across the court. Back set by Archie is bumped up. Allard on the attack. Good save by Alexander to get out of bounds and bring that one back in. Allard on the save again for Clinton. Allard again on the save for Clinton. Now Smith and Allard on the cross, and she was on the ground and then up in the air. And now Smith to Alexander will set up Brown, who says, can we get out of this? And that strong attack isn't enough.
And this one will go out of bounds. Wow, what great play right there by both sides.
A little
That
back
was
and
amazing.
forth. You know, it kind of reminds me, I'm sure you played the game when you were a kid, the ball pong, where it would just go back and forth and it would go faster and faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
And it sort of reminds me of that the longer the play goes, the faster the ball moves back and forth.
You do
across the
realize
court.
even in the game of Pong, I was picked last.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I promise the next time we play just for fun, I'll put you on my team. So good serve by Maddie Alexander there.
Here's the set. Brown right in the corner where no one can hit it. Let's get the instant replay on that.
Absolutely.
That was a beautiful spike. Set. Brown
Excellent placement there.
right in the corner where no one can hit it.
where
Let's get the
only-
instant replay where no one can hit it. All righty.
So Maddie Alexander, Maddie Allard.
Maddie Allard. She
Back to
struggled tonight with
serve.
her serves, but this one looks good. Bumps back over the net.
Elena Alexander there being quick-footed as she
Oh, and
played
that
the
does go out of
ball a
bounds.
couple of times, once almost from the knees. So, you know, the girls really hustling out there, and, you know, it's falling into their advantage most of the time.
This is going to come short.
Peyton Anderson back in the game for Archie now as Morgan Hendrix comes in for Clinton. And we will see Mercedes Brown on the serve. Good solid serve from her.
Wow, what a nice spike. Go ahead and take another look at that on the
You know,
instant replay.
and it was out of bounds when it landed, but they did manage to get
Wow,
a
what
hand
a
on
nice
it before
spike.
that. So point goes to Archie on that, and that was well played. Hendrix on the attack, drops one into the middle of the court, and it's just a little short for the back row. Hendrix on the attack, looks like drops one into the middle. Hope Wilson now coming into the game for Archie. And Paige Gillen back to serve for Clinton. Colby Jackson to Gillen, and Morgan Hendrix on the kill for the Clinton there. That ball was just about perfect for her. Colby Jackson's exactly where and Morgan Hendrix on the kill for the Clinton on the court.
Yeah, she kind of misjudged the block there, but immediately took the step back in order to get set up for that spike. You know, the level that these girls are playing at is amazing.
Gillen sets up Jackson this time.
Nice
A
spike.
good block by Archie. Now Elena Alexander goes with the set. And that time, number 7, Emma McIntyre for Archie does manage to land goes with the set. The back row of Clinton. 19-11 your score now. And that time, number 7, still a Clinton ball game here. Of course, Clinton did take the first matchup in varsity action tonight.
That's going to go out of bounds.
Morgan Hendrix puts another one on the board for Clinton. And now we will see Brian Smith back to serve.
Oh, a little short. I don't think they were expecting that.
Smith to Gillen, sets up Allard. And that will be 2 hits on Archie as she tried to go for the quick set over the net and didn't quite make the angle she needed. So once again, Smith to serve for Clinton. And
That'll be out of bounds. I think she was trying to sneak one in there and just got it a little too long.
Aubrey Smith coming in the game for Archie now. Smith up to Gillen, who sets up Allard. Strong attack, and it's over the net, and Morgan says, I don't think so, and just puts it back on the floor for Archie. Sets up
Let's
Allard.
take a second look at that.
Strong attack, and it's over the net, and Morgan says, I don't think so.
You're right.
Morgan Hendrix now back to serve for Clinton.
Oh.
Out of bounds on the return, so Clinton will take the point. 23-12 now. And, of course, getting close to the win column, so we will take another timeout here for Archie as they try to figure out a good strategy to slow down the Clinton Lady Cardinals. And we want to say thank you very much to our timeout sponsor, Aaron Collins with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. His office is located in the Clinton Corner Shopping Center here in Clinton. And if you get a chance, you're out in that area, just go by and Say hello to Aaron and his staff, and tell him thanks for sponsoring the live streaming here for fall sports, and let him know that you appreciate everything he's done to make this possible.
Absolutely. And a lot of great volleyball we got here.
It's been a good night for Clinton and for volleyball. Of course, the C team having a rough time as they gave up 2 wins to Archie, but the JV taking the match 2-1, and now here we are at varsity action.
A little long.
Clinton is leading 1-0 and currently taking this set 23-13.
I tell you what, any night that you can have any high school sports is going to be a good night because it's getting a little thin these days. Of course, we all know about the whole COVID thing, and this is just the way the season is going to go. There will be cancellations. Of course, Clinton soccer was canceled tonight. I guess they're going to try to do senior night, and we'll get back into play.
In a couple of weeks. Allard on the attack, but is blocked. Clinton manages to make a good recovery. And a nice up by Smith to Gillen, who sets up Allard again. And that will be in. Good placement by
corner.
Allard there to go for the deep to Gillen, who sets up Allard
Take
again.
another look at that hit.
And that will be in.
Right back
Good
in
placement
the corner.
by Allard.
Well, actually hits the ref in
The
the
line judge
line
out there.
judge.
And game point here for Clinton, 24-13. Elena Alexander on the serve. Up by Smith will go in the net, and as they try to dig it out, Alexander and Allard will collide and not able to pull that one up.
Gives Archie a little bit of life here.
Emma Thompson now to serve for Archie. She's been a good, solid server tonight. Brown's attack is blocked. Then she will go for the soft touch this time around, and that one will hit the floor. So that will take the game for Clinton, 25 She will go for the soft touch this time around, and that one will hit the floor for game 1 as well. So Clinton leading 2-0 here in varsity action tonight as the Lady Cardinals are hosting the Archie Whirlwinds. And boy, it's been exciting. It's been fun to watch, hasn't it, James?
Oh yeah, this has been my first opportunity to actually watch the Clinton girls play, and it's definitely been a treat. We knew that they were going to be good. We knew that they had a strong team, but to see them play in person, they're living up to all the expectations. Not to downplay really what Archie's doing. I mean, they come into this. You take this Archie team and you put it against Sherwood or any other surrounding teams, and they would probably win, to be perfectly honest. Sherwood's got a pretty good team this year. Lakeland, I think, is actually undefeated still. So you put them up against any of those other teams. They would actually Adrian. They've only got one senior this year, so they would have no problem taking them. But a lot of talent over there on the Archie side. It's just that when you got the experience and the height and the serving ability that Clinton has there, any good team is still going to struggle.
I think every volleyball team tries to find that key ingredient that they have over their opponent, and sometimes it's height or strength and power. Sometimes it's your serving abilities, and sometimes it's the fact that you are an older team, so you have that experience from building your team and working together. And the Clinton Lady Cardinals this year have just got a complete package. They have 3 seniors starting, 5 seniors on the squad. And so they have that experience. They have that teamwork, that gel that forms a solid cohesion. Mm-hmm. Plus, they've got the height, they've got the strength, they've got some consistent serving. They've just got a whole package, and it really shows when you get them up against a good team like this.
Mm-hmm. And they play well together. They communicate. Everything that you really need for a championship run, they've got it.
And you know what? My favorite part about the team is from the very first minute that they step on the floor before the game even starts to the very last second of play, you can tell they are having fun. They love what they're doing, and that's part of the reason why they're so good is because they love it so much and they're so committed to it.
You know, I think a lot of that actually comes from the coach as well. I think she embeds that into her players, have fun, go out and attack, you know.
So point 1 on the board here is for Archie as the attack goes out of bounds. And I think you're right, James, when you talk about coaches, the coach sets the atmosphere, absolutely. And if the coach is not doing their job right, your team will not be successful. And so, you know, for these girls, they have a lot of those advantages we were talking about. But it's obvious that that Coach Turner has come in and has set the right atmosphere for the girls as well.
Yeah, and you know, I like Coach Turner. Can't say enough nice things about her. I got to spend a little time with her and the girls during the off season, during one of the training camps. And one thing that they did, and I have this on video. I haven't released it yet. I was waiting for kind of one of the right times and moments. But one thing that they did is they came in and played, what is it, Nerf Gun? They had a Nerf Gun War right here in the gym. So, which was a lot of fun.
So we had a nice block, Allard and Brown on the block, and then we've also had a nice dig by Katie Mitchell here.
Oh,
and Allard tried
just
to dink that one over, and it just didn't quite get there.
Rolled right across the net. That was one of those that it could have dropped on either side, and it just happened to fall on the Clinton side.
Smith gets it up to Alexander, who sets up Brown, and she takes a nice, easy attack. Brown and Gillen on the block for Clinton there. Brown putting that one away almost. Boy, what a save by Archie to get underneath that one. And this time she'll dink it over.
Oh, nice dig.
Again, Archie manages to dig that one up. Now we'll go to Gillen on the other side.
Oh, and that goes out of bounds.
Will go out of bounds. What a good play, though. Nice series, a lot of execution, and, you know, Clinton comes back and they run their game plan and attack, and then they attack again, and if it doesn't work, they attack again.
That goes out.
So a lot of fight at the net there. Brown up in the net a couple of times against Archie, and the ball does go out of bounds on Archie, so Clinton will take the point and the serve. And we will see Maddie Allard back to serve now for Clinton. Archie is leading 5-3 here.
Ooh, nice block by Brown.
In the net, so Clinton will take the point.
We'll just have to take a second look at that on the instant replay. We need a sponsor for instant replay.
Ooh,
nice block by Brown. We need a lot more sponsors for but that's okay. Actually, we appreciate every sponsor that's come on board.
So it looks like Archie's having a little trouble with their rotation here again, so we will stop and get them settled in and moved around a bit. Allard again on the serve.
And Archie up 6-4.
Now we see Brian Smith come back into the game for Clinton. Nice up by her. Alexander sets up Brown. Another up by Smith. Alexander this time to Colby Jackson. That is blocked, and Smith gets a hand on it but can't pull it back in, so the point will go to Archie. Archie now leading 7-4, and so Clinton will stop a minute, take a timeout here. and think over the strategy and change things up a bit, maybe, as we say. Thank you to Golden Valley Memorial Healthcare for coming on as one of our timeout sponsors. Of course, they are an integral part of our community here. They are always there to provide all of the services we need to stay healthy, and not only are they providing medical care, but right now they are one of our trusted advisors when it comes to COVID-19. And they are there to give us pointers and tips and tell us what we need to do to try and stay safe as much as possible. So we appreciate them very much. Katie Mitchell with the flat-footed spike there from the back row.
Oh, nice block by, was that?
That was Paige Gillen.
Paige Gillen? All right. See if we can't take another look at that block by Gillen, because it was
spike
well
there from
executed.
The back row.
Oh, nice block by, was that?
That was Paige Gillen.
Paige Gillen? All right.
Of course, now we will see Morgan Hendrix back in the game for Clinton, and Mercedes Brown back to serve. A good block by Morgan Hendrix there as she puts that one back down on the court on the Archie side of the net. A good block by Morgan Hendrix there as she does a little bit to close the gap here for Clinton.
Here's the set.
Brown digging that one up off the ground. And Jackson not quite able to get herself squared up underneath it. Will go into the net. And we will see number 9, Hope Wilson, come into the game for Archie. Back to serve for the Whirlwinds.
Okay, yeah, it was one of those where she just bumped it up to set, and it goes into the net. Of course, those are always hard to play.
Paige Gillen now to serve for Clinton. Strong serve by her. Brown digging another one up. A good save by Alexander. And now the girls will get it under control. Set themselves up. Good play by Alexander there. Good placement. Up by Smith to Gillen, who will set up Morgan Hendrix. Smith again to Gillen to Hendrix. Quick light touch to the center of the court, and Archie can't pull that one into play. To Hendrix. Tie ball game now, 8-8. Quick light touch to the center. Come back and put some points on the board. And Clinton's going to check their rotation out here. Paige Gillen to serve. Smith to Gillen, sets up Colby Jackson. Quick tip, but it will go out of bounds.
She tried to sneak one in there in an empty spot, but just a little off with her aim.
Brown up to Gillen, sets up Alana Alexander now, and that's out of control, and we'll put the point on the board for Clinton. 9-9 is our score now, as we're all tied up again, and that will bring up Brian Smith to serve. And Alexander says, thanks for setting me up. That looks good. And she goes in for the kill.
Yeah, she made him pay for that one.
And Alexander says, thanks for setting me up. Smith again on the serve. Out of bounds on the attack by Archie. So another point for Clinton, and they have moved into the lead 11-9 now. It's getting a little quieter in here right now. It's getting serious. Free ball from Archie. Brown to Gillen, sets up Allard, who comes across and puts one away.
Take another look
Ball
at that
from Archie.
one. Man, Allard.
Brown
was
to Gillen, sets up
She's really
Allard,
working
who
the
comes
hits now,
across
just
and puts one
killing
away.
them with it. All right, here we go.
Good block by Hendrix there.
When you get all that height up front, it's hard to play against a team
Good
this good.
block by
Morgan
Hendrix
Hendrix.
there. She is listed at 6'1".
She's got to be taller than that. She's being nice.
But, I mean, listen, we've got 6'1". What else do I see here? I mean,
Well, how tall is Paige? Now, she's not extremely tall, but man,
No.
she plays like she's 9 foot tall.
yeah, Paige Gillen, 5'5" is the listed height here. But I think she jumps about a foot in the air just on average. And when she's really trying to put some height on it, I mean, who knows how far into the air she gets.
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, Clinton's just got so many weapons, and then you got Jackson that I mean, every ball she hits is a fastball.
Give me the let me give you the statistic here. Colby Jackson, she's only 5'7".
Really?
Yeah.
And she hits it over the net like she's 6'1". Just another great play by Allard.
What you think about? We've got Morgan Hendrix at 6'1". We've got Mercedes Brown at 5'9", and of course you want to put Allard in that too. Maddie Allard at 5'10". You know, when you've got a front line like that, wow.
Oh, yeah.
And these girls, they know how to execute those plays.
Yeah, and they're not just tall and getting in the way. They can spike, they can block, they can serve. They can do that.
So now that we've made a big deal out of the front line, let me back off of that for a minute and let me talk about, there are a couple other players. First of all, Brianne Smith. When that ball is coming at you that fast, she digs them up off the bottom of the court every time, and almost every time puts it directly in the hands of her setter. So, you know, you've got to have that, because without her, your blocker never gets to block and your spiker never gets to hit the ball.
Just a well-rounded team.
Well, then, you know, you mix that with Katie Mitchell and Alana Alexander, who set a lot for this team, and Paige Gillen right along with them. Without those girls, your spiker never puts their hands on the ball. So, you know, that front line, that powerhouse is vital. But without the rest of the components, with the rest of the team.
If you don't have those good setters, then you don't have the good spikes. I mean, your front line people don't look as good. I mean, a little bit of a.
It sort of rolled across the backs of the team.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, you look at the girls, they're still smiling. They're like, okay, we lost that one. We're going to win the war,
Get
though.
the next one. And now we see Katie Mitchell coming back in. 16-11 is the score now, with Clinton leading.
Have we seen a ball get past her yet, really? Mitchell in the back? I mean,
It's very rare.
yeah.
Boy, once in a while there's one that's just so far out of reach she can't get to it, but it's pretty rare. Oh, slightly out of bounds. Good idea, but the placement was just a little off there.
Yeah.
And that's why they can play this 4-up defense, I guess is what you call it. Why they can load their front line so heavily is because they've got Katie Mitchell and Brianne Smith on the back, making sure nothing gets past them. And a good
wow.
reaction by
She hit
Paige
that ball as she
Gilman.
was falling. She set that as she was going down,
That was
landing on her back.
an amazing recovery
Wow.
by Paige Gillen
mean,
there.
If you're Archie, how do you defend against that? I mean, just the athleticism, the talent.
And
know.
Emily Hopkins now coming into the
Yeah.
game for Archie. You know, when your momentum is going in the other direction like that, that's a pretty amazing play. Great serve by Alana Alexander there.
Nice save by Archie.
And a nice dig by Allard.
Oh, and they finally got one past Clinton.
Deep on the back row. And again, when you're light in the back row, it's hard to cover all that territory. Mitchell to Alexander. And they will call Allard with the lift on that one. The set was pretty far behind her.
Yeah, I think that was pretty obvious. Yes, sir. Nice serve.
Up by
Oh,
Mitchell.
Out of bounds.
Alexander. Mitchell again taking it over.
Look at the
And
spike.
Brown winning the battle at the net as she blocks the play. 18-14, your Clinton Lady Cardinals now leading.
The
And
spike.
Brown winning the
Whirlwinds.
battle at the net as she. And we will see Colby Jackson come back into the front line for Clinton now.
I'm sure Brian Brown's watching right now going, yay, Mercedes.
Allard to Alexander, who sets her up, and she will go in for the strong hit. Allard to Alexander to Brown this time. And put one more on the board for Clinton. Peyton Anderson now back in the game for Archie. As Maddie Allard back to serve again.
Nice spike by Archie there. What was that number 20? Nope.
I did not see number 20, Emma Thompson.
I think so. Very well done.
And now we see number 11, Chesney Baker, back into the game for Archie. Brown on the attack. A good save by Alexander, but the girl's not able to get up and underneath that attack. Quick enough.
You know,
Good
Archie's got
save
the
by
athleticism.
Alexander,
They've got
but,
the talent, but Clinton has just got a little bit more. So
Morgan Hendrix now in the game for Clinton. You know what I think the biggest difference I see between these teams right now? When Archie attacks, they attack. When Clinton attacks, they have a placement. They pick their spot, and they nail it every time.
yeah,
You know, that shows a lot of maturity and a lot of confidence in your abilities when you can do that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a very good Archie team. They're just, you know.
Hope Wilson now up to serve for Archie, coming back in the game. Smith up to Alexander, who sets up Paige Gillen, and that will land in the net. So we'll put one on the board for Archie. 20-18, your Clinton Lady Cardinals leading over the Archie Whirlwinds here. And Alexander takes one over quick. Free ball over by Colby Jackson. And the line judge says it was in.
Yeah, I think he was right on that one.
So we will get a timeout here as the girls take a minute to talk it over with their coaches and put their strategies together. 20-19 our score, and what a game this has been. Both teams had the lead at one point in time, back and forth, and this is a really a well-played game on both sides of the net. we want to say thank you very much to our timeout sponsor, Aaron Collins at Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. Aaron is the agent here in Clinton, and we encourage you to stop by, say hi to him. Ask him for a quote if you're interested, if you're shopping around, if it's time to renew. He'll definitely take good care of you. Smith up to Alexander, who sets up Morgan Hendrix, and she will be blocked at the net. Had a little help. I think the ball didn't quite get over the net, so Archie takes the point, ties it up. Now Brown to Alexander to Hendrix. A good solid hit. Back up for Archie. Smith to Alexander. This time to Gillen, who dinks it over. Archie returns it the same way. Brown, Alexander to Morgan Hendrix. The block is good, and Clinton can't pull it up off the ground.
And surprisingly, Archie has now taken the lead. Now, hey, I've said it several times, these girls are talented. Archie's doing a very good job and doing exactly what they need to do to get back into this game.
Smith's up a little too high, and she's too far forward on that. Archie beats her in the backfield. 22-20 now. Archie taking the lead again in this game. Boy, again, back and forth this time. Of course, Clinton is leading 2-0 in the match.
23-20.
And Clinton not able to dig that one up out of the net. So the momentum has shifted here for the time being. Smith up. Alana Alexander to Hendrix, free over the net. And the long spike will go out of bounds by Archie. And now we will see Paige Gillen back to serve for Clinton.
Oh, goes in the net.
A little short for Paige there. So game point now for Archie. The first time we've been in that position tonight. Brown up to Gillen, who sets up Morgan Hendrix. And Morgan says, I want another shot at this one. So she will put that point on the board for Clinton, 22-24 now. And we will bring up Colby Jackson. No, Brian Smith to serve for Clinton. And Maddie Allard on the block. And they will call that out of bounds. So they will give the point to Archie, 25-22, the score there.
Giving them the game.
There was a little bit of delay there as Clinton sort of signaled they thought it was off the fingertips of Archie, but that was not the call on the floor. Seeing as how the officiating team was about 2 feet from the play, I'm sure he had a pretty good perspective.
And we will have another game.
So 2-1, the record for the match here. Of course, varsity action. The girls do play best of 5. So in game 4 now, we will face off. And if Clinton can take this one, they will take the match. And if Archie can take this one, we will line up for another round.
Yeah, it's I think Clinton maybe got a little relaxed in that last game.
Well, and you think about it, you got to get a little tired too. It takes a lot of energy to put the power behind the serves and the spikes that are going on out there. And, we have a very well-rounded team and a lot of depth, but they are still working very hard to make that happen. And, boy, what an amazing set of talent that these girls have. Everything from their serving to the attacks at the net, their digs and their bumps in the back row, not to mention the sets that they're getting from their setters, and the fact that they have, I'm saying setters plural, and in every position they are deeper than one player. They've got 3 or 4 girls that are attacking the net regularly. They've got a solid 3 that are setting regularly. They have a solid 3 that rotate in and out of the back row, bumping on a regular basis to get that ball up and in play. And they are all very consistent and thorough at what they're doing. Most teams are lucky to have 2 strong players in a position. And Clinton is definitely in a position to have a solid 3 players in every position on the court. And it looks like, as we get squared away for game number 4 here, Clinton will start with the serve, and Alana Alexander back to serve for Clinton. Solid serve to the center back row. And a long cross-court attack over the head of Brian Smith there. Lands inbound, so Archie will take the first point of the game. Mitchell up to Alexander, sets up Mercedes Brown for the attack. Brown gets a hand on the block, and the set will go to Katie Mitchell. Alexander up.
Nice
and
save.
A free ball from Clinton as they put that one back in play. Brian Smith up, Alexander to Allard. Good dig by Maddie Allard there. A little long on the save there. Again, Allard on the attack. And her body was turned almost sideways. You would have thought that ball was going to Allard on the attack. She knew this hole was back and here on the sideline, and that's exactly where she landed it.
It's a nice volley.
Maddie Allard on the serve for Clinton. And
the
attack goes out of bounds. We will see number 2, Kira Mattingly, back in the game for Archie now.
It looks like Archie is just getting more aggressive with their play. And I think that is exactly what they needed to do to come back and win in that last game. And it looks like they're continuing to do so in this
Brian Smith
game.
Now back in the game for Clinton. Mitchell to Alexander, sets up Brown for the attack. And the ball will go out of bounds, so Clinton will take possession of that. 3-2 now, Clinton leading. And we will see Morgan Hendrix come into game for Clinton. And as Clinton gets a hand on it at the net, it slows it down enough that it will fall in front of Brian Smith. Archie taking a minute to check their rotation, make sure they're in the right positions now as they move to serve. Brown up to Alexander, sets up Morgan Hendrix. She takes one to the center. Brown again to Alexander. Hendrix again, this time with the kill.
Take a second look at that.
And again to Alexander.
That
one, she
Hendrix
puts some
again,
power this time with the kill. She does a really good job of mixing it up. This time a really strong hit. Next time it might be nice and soft and a little further over to the right. You never know. And Archie not able to get that ball across the net. So Paige Gillen back to serve her second now for Clinton. And the long ball over the net by Archie gets kind of tangled up with Colby Jackson's hands there as she goes up for the block.
Yeah, I think they even said that she was in the net.
She will come out, and we will see Nissa Brown in the game for Clinton. Of course, we saw her quite a bit during JV action tonight. I don't think I've seen her play with the varsity yet in the few games that I've been able to catch, so it'll be fun to watch her join this group. And a nice save there by Clinton. But Archie takes advantage of the fact that everybody's out of position and puts one away. So I think we are all tied up here, 5-5. Of course, Clinton leading 2-1 in the series. Smith up to Paige Gillen, who sets up Morgan Hendrix, and she is able to capitalize on that. And now we will see Maddie Allard back in the game for Clinton. And Smith trying to make the save there. I think Mercedes Brown probably was in position behind her, but she couldn't see that, wouldn't have known. Smith up to Gillen, who sets up Maddie Allard. And the block will twist the ball off course, and Allard not quite able to get underneath it. Brown to Gillen, sets up Allard, and it will go a little long and out. Archie now leading 8-6 over the Clinton Lady Cardinals. Girls do seem to be losing a little steam, getting a little tired out there. Brown to Gillen, sets up to Morgan Hendrix. A nice save there by Archie, number 20 Emma Thompson, but she can't keep it in play.
You know, Clinton's energy levels definitely dropped off quite a bit here. It doesn't look like they're smiling or having as much fun now.
You know, these are the times that I miss the student interaction. You know, a lot of times you would have the student section and they would be loud and boisterous and they'd help pull the team back up. The whole gym is just really quiet tonight, you know. You don't even really hear a lot of fan noise right now.
Well, everybody's mouths are muffled by the face coverings.
Well, that's maybe true a little bit.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm joking, but I'm not. It's kind of hard to yell and scream when you got something covering your face.
Tie ball game again, 8-8.
But unfortunately, that's just the way things are right now.
Serve by Morgan Hendrix is out of control and will score the point for Clinton.
Clinton able to retake the lead.
You know, that last game, game 3, we really traded the lead back and forth the whole time, and it looks like this one may go about the same way.
Oh, that is in.
Wow, what a great placement. That was inches off the back line on that serve. It looks like this one may go about the same way. That's amazing.
Oh, that is in.
Wow, what a great placement. That across the board.
Let's see if she can do it again.
This one a little shorter. Nice block by Maddie Allard there. And that one they can't quite pick up off the floor, so Archie will take the point. And now we see Katie Mitchell back in the game on the back row of Clinton. That's a good combination, Mitchell and Smith on the back row. Those girls, they really do a good job back there. Mercedes Brown on the spike, and the block is not in bounds when it hits the floor. So looks like they will say it bounced off the fingertips of Clinton first.
Well, she hit it. Defended, yeah.
And Clinton asks for clarification. The official will check with everyone and make the call. So
What was the call?
the call was a line violation by Archie. They were under the net.
Okay.
Across the center line. So the ball will go to Clinton this time. Elena Alexander back to serve. Free ball over by Clinton. Now Archie goes for the short dink. Quick up, and Mercedes Brown blocked. She tries to keep the ball in play, but it goes wild, and Clinton will not be able to pull that one back in. 11-11 now, our score, tie ball game. And it looks like Kira Mattingly coming back in the game for Archie. Out of bounds.
We both called it.
I'm not used to having somebody else on the mic. I forget that there's somebody else in the scheme of things.
Yeah, you know what? And neither one of us were supposed to be here tonight. So
Maddie Allard on the serve for Clinton. And Archie cannot put one over the net on that, so Clinton will take the point. 13-11 now. Mm-hmm. And Allard checks the scoreboard as she backs up to serve. Strong cross-court serve from her. And that will, land inbounds. Boy, right on that line.
Archie is just not going to give up. Nice hit.
To Alexander. And that was number 8, Nessa Brown, for Clinton. Does she say Nessa or Nissa? I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
I don't know. It's out of bounds.
She played a lot of time on our JV games tonight, and nice to see her getting some varsity time in. And we see Morgan Hendrix coming into the game for Clinton now.
Next year she'll definitely be a starter, so you'll see a lot of her right here on Sounds Like Videos next year.
Brian Smith on the up, and Nissa Brown on the attack there. Morgan Hendrix this time.
Oh, nice save by Clinton.
Good save there as the girls.
Oh, not able to dig that one out, though.
Not sure she shouldn't have just let that one go. It was going to be awfully close to that back line. It's hard to judge.
I think it was going to be in, though. Still, it's 14-14.
Chesney Baker now back in for Archie. Smith up to Alexander, who sets up Nissa Brown again, and she will score the point on that attack.
Nissa gets an instant replay on that play.
Nissa Brown again, and she will score the point on that attack. Paige Gillen to serve now for Clinton.
Oh, it comes up short.
And I got to say, I'm always really excited for this time Nissa Brown, someone who doesn't necessarily start the game or that plays more JV than varsity, but they get the chance to play. They get the call to come up. And when they get here, they do something like that. She's attacking and she's scoring a point, and, you can't help but feel good about that. So,
Of course, Morgan Hendrich says, I can do it too.
And, you can't help but feel good about that. So,
well-placed ball. Right in the corner.
And Nissa Brown now back to serve for Clinton. Nice deep serve from her. We'll get a free ball from Archie. Paige Gillen sets up Maddie Allard. And that will go wild, so that will be point for Clinton. 17-15 now. Clinton leading by 2. So good ball game here tonight. All of them have been good games here tonight. Very, very well-matched pair of teams.
Oh,
and
that
this
one goes in the
time,
net.
Nissa will come up a little short and in the net. And now we will see Brianne Smith back in the game for Clinton.
She's in the game for a short time, but made a difference. Nissa Brown, however you pronounce it. Oh, nice block, but Clinton is able to recover.
Blocked again.
Dinks it over.
And Paige
Set.
will set up Maddie Allard.
And
Across the court, finds the opening, doesn't she?
yes, she
and
does.
puts it right on the line.
She
Will
goes,
set up
there's nobody
Maddie
right
Allard.
and there.
Across the court, finds. That's exactly how it's done, too.
It is.
And the way that she goes up and the way that she twists while she's in the air, you could never predict where she's going to hit that ball. And I think that just a good example there of the girls are getting tired. You know, we have played a lot of volleyball already and a lot of effort and energy. And when those serves start to fall short, you know, that's exactly the problem.
You know, and these girls are used to this of games being over in 3.
Yes. So nice up by Katie Mitchell there, who just came back in the game for Clinton.
I just want to point out, Brown jumps up, she's got her hands over the net, comes back down, lands, and does not even come close to touching the net.
That's right.
That just, you maybe can't see it so small on the screen, but
Alana Alexander on the serve now. And a nice block by Mercedes Brown for Clinton. And that's exactly what you're talking about. You know, the ball is over the net, but her hands are on the other side pushing it back.
you know, her skill level, and especially considering the fact that she's just a sophomore.
Kiera Mattingly now in the game for Archie. Smith up, and Brown back to Smith to take it over the net. Katie Mitchell now to Alexander, who sets up Maddie Allard for the kill. 20-18 now your score here in Clinton. Katie Mitchell now to Alexander, who sets up Maddie Allard for the kill. Boy, what a night. We have had some amazing volleyballs.
Oh, yeah. At all levels. I mean, the C team came in and, you know, maybe not as exciting, not all the spikes and everything like that, but to watch the girls come out here and just give it their all the way that they have.
Maddie Allard on the serve. A nice dive by Nessa Brown. Good save for her team there. And she's up for the block. But the ball gets by her and no for coverage. Her team there.
That's one of those deals that she goes up, she
And
looks,
she's up
she
for
sees
the
that
block.
there's nobody there, and she puts it right that on the floor.
Katie Mitchell from the back row to Alexander, who sets up Nessa, and just a little off on her timing. Not quite there.
It worked earlier, but yeah, like you said, a little off on her timing. You'll get it next time.
Mitchell again to Alexander, who sets up Brown this time. Smith to Alexander, and it will be out of bounds. So, and now Archie moves into the lead again, 21-20.
Wow.
And back and forth we go. So Clinton will call a timeout here, take a little time, put together another strategy, maybe mix it up a little bit. We want to say thank you very much to Jim Rasick Auto Group here in Clinton, Missouri. Go see Jim on the loop and let him know that you saw the live stream of high school sports tonight. Varsity volleyball action with the Clinton Lady Cardinals taking on the Archie Whirlwinds here in Clinton. Right now, Clinton is leading 2-1 in the series. And here in set number 4, Archie is currently leading 21-20. And boy, we have been back and forth all night. So let's see what these teams can do. Smith up to Alexander, who sets up Mercedes Brown. She takes the dink. Now Smith up to Alexander, who sets up Paige Gillen. She goes in for the dink.
It's like a dink war.
Again, Smith to Alexander, this time to Mercedes Brown, who attacks. That will be an in. Again, right off the edge of Alexander, this time to Mercedes Brown, who attacks. That will be
she
an
gets a nice
in.
setup right there in the center and is able to put that ball back almost in the corner.
And as Mercedes Brown goes back to serve, we will see Morgan Hendrix come into the front line, standing next to Paige Gilland. A nice block, and I didn't think that one was going to fall off the net.
Oh, wow.
So 22-21, again, Archie taking the lead.
Clinton needs to get their energy level back up or they're going to lose this.
Smith to Alexander. Paige Gillen on the attack. She'll send one deep. Hendrix up to Alexander, who will set up Nessa Brown. She will dink one over. And Nessa and Hendrix, and I think that was Nessa Brown's hand on that one for the block. So kudos to her. And Nessa and Hendrix, and I think that was Nessa. Paige Gillen to serve for Clinton again. Set is a little behind her man, so Clinton gets a free ball. Up to Morgan Hendrix, who literally knocks the Archie defender off her
let's
feet.
take another look at that.
Morgan Hendrix,
that's whack.
who literally knocked.
She spins over. I think she kind of lost her balance there.
She had her momentum going in that direction, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, if she's feeling a little ill on that one, she can go to Golden Medal Memorial Healthcare and get her fixed up.
And don't we appreciate them for all they do for us?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Clinton did take the lead with that last point again, so now we are 23-22. And as we approach game point, keep in mind you have to win by 2. So this could be a long set. It
very well could be.
If the trend continues.
But let's see if Clinton can put this game away.
Paige Gillen now back to serve for Clinton. A nice deep serve. Free ball from Archie. Smith up to Gillen again. Morgan Hendrix on the spike and kill for Clinton again. So do you think the strategy might be Hendrix on the spike and kill for Clinton again? Swing away. Kind of looks like it, maybe.
Yeah, it does. Maybe.
So 24-22 now. Clinton leading by 2 and looking to gain that gain point, which would take this game and also the match for Clinton here tonight. And so Archie will call another timeout and talk it over again. And we want to say thank you very much to Aaron Collins, Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, for sponsoring our timeouts here tonight as we bring you Clinton High School volleyball action. Of course, we are in varsity games now. Clinton leading 2-1 over the Archie Whirlwinds.
You hear the crowd getting into it.
Paige Gillen on the serve. Archie sets up from the attack in the middle. Smith puts it in the air. A huge attempt by Mercedes Brown to get underneath that one and just can't get any height on it. So 23-24 now. Clinton still leading as we see number 9, Hope Wilson, back in the game to serve for Archie. And now I start to hear the crowd again, as boy, isn't this exciting. Brown to Gillen, sets up Morgan Hendrix, who finds an opening in the far back corner. She says, you're going to give me an inch and I'll take a mile.
Yeah, let's look
Hendrix,
at that on
who finds an opening in the far. So 25-23. And that will bring up the match for Clinton here at the end of game 4. Of course, Clinton taking game 1 25-14 and also game 2 25-14. Archie then fighting back in game 3 25-22. And finally Clinton putting this one away 25-23 here to wrap up the match for Clinton tonight with a 3-1 lead over the Archie Whirlwinds. And wow, what a well-played game. The girls all came out and fought hard and played hard here tonight. And what well-matched, deep experience and well-rounded teams. These were both able to hit hard and find the hole. And the serves were good, the bumps were good, just well executed from start to finish tonight. And boy, if you wanted to be entertained, this was entertaining.
Oh wow, this was the most exciting volleyball. Wow, what a great matchup. Archie coming in, facing an undefeated team, very experienced, definitely taller, but they were actually able to win one game. So we went to 4 matches here, or 4 games.
4 sets?
4 sets. Thank you. Still not up with my volleyball terminology. But upcoming, Clinton has rescheduled a game with Bolivar. That'll be the 21st. That will be at Bolivar. And then the 22nd at Nevada. And then at Pleasant Hill on the 24th. Where we're at on that schedule, I don't know, because Bolivar is a reschedule. Nevada, I believe that we are going to be there for that game, and Pleasant Hill as well. So if you're enjoying high school volleyball, please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. Let people know that they can watch these games here. I know there's a lot of people who really don't want to or can't or shouldn't come to the games, and that was a big push for us to actually cover volleyball this season. Thank you very much. Of course, we will be at Adrian tomorrow for El Dorado Springs football. I believe Clinton football has been canceled. Is that right?
Clinton did cancel the game for Friday. Last week we had that situation, and they were able to find another competitor to come in and play. Mm-hmm. I have not heard of that, but, things change every hour this year, it seems, in our scheduling.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. You never know what might happen.
But on the 25th, Clinton will play Oak Grove at Oak Grove. Of course, that'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. Where else are we at? Well, tennis tomorrow at Warrensburg. It looks like JV games. And then on the weekend, JV OCL tournament. And then cross country, a Clinton Invitational on Saturday the 19th. And then here we go, volleyball, Bolivar. We already talked about that one. Harrisonville tennis at home. Of course, tennis Excelsior Springs and Warrensburg at home, as well as Clinton softball at home against Odessa. So just a little bit of upcoming information. Of course, this all could be rescheduled at any time or canceled.
Check back tomorrow.
Yeah, constantly check your news feeds. It seems like every time I go to post something, it's like, hey, we're going to be at this game. It's canceled. So it's been hard to even update you guys on our end. But that's where we are. James Hinkle, Stacy Hinkle, Sounds Like Videos. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And we also appreciate our sponsors, if I could get them up here. Where are they at? There's our sponsors. Let me play them one last
If you happen to be out and around town, stop in and tell them you saw the live stream and say thanks for doing that, because, they were very gracious to come in and help us make this happen, and we really appreciate them.
Mm-hmm. We totally appreciate them for that. And where's my intro or my extra or my where's that thing I play? It's supposed to be on here. There it is. Okay. And we are going to duck out of here. James Hinkle, Stacy Hinkle, Sounds Like Videos. We will see you at the next game.
1, 2, 3!
Aaron Collins, Missouri Farm Bureau. Jim Rasick, Auto Group. Sugarfoot Barbecue. Remax, Truman Lake. Golden Valley Memorial Healthcare. Integrity Floors. The Landmark Restaurant. Clark Tire. C-Squared Embroidery and Screen Printing. Real-Time Photography. Primitive Old Crow and Winery. Bernard Tax and Bookkeeping. Laura Anstein, Anstein Realty and Auction. Creative Paint and Supply.